So I decided to take a closer look at this Pallasite meteorite and do some testing while recording, just to verify some of the properties you might want to look for on meteorites. Now, this is a Pallasite meteorite. It was found in Missouri along the 38th parallel. There's an impact zone that runs along the 38th parallel through Missouri and into some other states. So found this and some others there. I have some other videos uploaded on this. But some of the features you might want to look out for, besides metal, nickel iron, and the olivine, or gem quality is known as peridot. Some of the external features, like fusion crust, which, you can see some of the fusion crust. Ooh, there. Regmaglypts. These little divots, dimples, see them? There's one there. Get my finger out of the way. One there. There's some others there, depending on the lighting, you can see them better. Another regmaglypt there. Those are created from when the stone, or this meteorite, was entering Earth's atmosphere, and the heat kind of channeled out some of these little dimples. There's also a feature known as, so if you can imagine, this stone was meeting the atmosphere from here, so it was kind of flowing that way. You can also look for a little rollover lip right in here. That little lip there kind of rolls over from the flow of the atmosphere coming over it. There's also a nice regmaglypt right here. See it? Now this one looks to me like it's more of a shock vein right here, see it? Than a rollover lip. Shock vein there. A little more of the fusion crust as we go along. Of course, on the other side, there's a little more crust. So in Missouri, where this was found, the climate is humid in the summertime, and then we have freezing and thawing. So this sat and weathered for quite some time. And some of that shiny material you see right there. See the shiny stuff there? That's known as desert varnish. See it right there? The shiny stuff. And the varnish just accumulates after sitting and weathering for, sometimes thousands of years. So it takes on that patina, is what it's called. Now there's also a test that I want to do. Let me turn on my magnetometer so you can see where this thing puts out magnetics. There we go. Let my magnetometer come up. This is a magnetometer you can go to the App Store and find. But not everywhere is this piece magnetic. Only in a few places. If you watch my Gauss meter, is what it's called. Watch the settings on it. It won't really trip off. Let me do it this way. There you go. Maybe you can see it better that way. Let me get it in focus. There you go. Won't really trip the Gauss meter. It stays in the 40s in most places, except when I take this part right here, that there, and put it on the meter. We'll see that the meter jumps see how it's jumping. Now if I can get it into just the right spot, it'll jump into the 90s and over 1 point. There you go, see it? We'll go over 1 point. I can get it to 1.5 if I can get an angle just right there in the ones. So what it's doing is it's picking up on a magnetic field inside of this meteorite, which is very hard to find in a meteorite. It has to be metal, iron metal based. So what it has is like a record of this when it was in space, of the magnetic force that's in it. Now watch as I slide this magnetometer away from that spot. It goes back down into the 40s. So the last little test I want to show you is what happens to this same spot I just showed you when I stick it next to a magnet. Let me find that spot. There it is. Okay, notice my magnet hanging from a wire here. It's still, isn't really moving. Now watch as I get this close to it without touching it. See how that magnet moves? And this magnet really isn't attracting it as it is being repelled by the magnetic force in this stone. Yeah. In other places on the stone or this meteorite, it won't do that. So it's just in a few areas that that magnetic field trapped inside of it presents itself. Very special stone. There's also a tiny little micro diamond that you can see inside of it. I've already posted that video, so I won't get too deep into it. There's a micro diamond inside of the stony metal. It's hexagon shaped. Yeah, very, very cool, very rare piece. It's a complete specimen, which means it hasn't been cut on, just polished in a few areas. Yeah, look at that shock vein right there. You can see it a little bit better. Regmaglypts, desert varnish, although it's not in the desert, that's just the name they call it from sitting around being terrestrialized. Yeah, very awesome piece.